boy, Hennythemoor, reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? And hey, first and foremost, before I get into anything, man, happy 4th of July to everybody, man. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day so far. Hope you got a good day planned ahead of yourselves. Hope you're able to spend it with family. Hope you're able to eat good, drink good, kick back, parlay. Just relax, man. We have a lot going on in our lives. We don't get too many free days just to collect ourselves and be around family and friends. So, I hope that you're spending your 4th of July amongst loved ones. Hope you're spending your 4th of July, recuperating, you know, just having a good time, man. So happy 4th to all y'all, man. Thank everybody for sliding in, showing love to the liquor store. I see my brother Peasy done tapped in with me. Salute to you, man. Thank you for the love and support. And, we got a pretty simple show ahead of us today, man. You know, we are going to talk about Tony Pollard, his expected increased workload, the run scheme, and really just Tony Pollard utilization in a West Coast system. Because it's not just about the run game when it comes to Tony Pollard in the West Coast offense, right? He will be utilized more in the passing game as well. He's probably going to be our lead back week 1. And there's still some question marks for some people. Some people are not sold on Tony Pollard just yet. Some people have questions about his ability to stay healthy, ability to manage a workload. We only seen him get the ball on the ground like 191 times last year. So some people have their questions, but I'm going to talk about the scheme. I'm going to talk about how he fits into it. I'm going to talk about what to expect from him. I'm going to talk about what he did last year and try to extrapolate that over the course of these 17 games coming up. And we're going to have us a good show, man. But hey, Matt Leslie, what's up with you, my boy? Thank you for coming in and showing love. I see my brother John Jones was slid into the building, man. Happy 4th of July to Miss Regina Green as well. Salute to you. Thank you for coming in and showing love. Matt Leslie said he didn't handle 20 carries. I do too. But we'll talk about it in depth in just a second though. But I need y'all to help your boy out real quick before we start. I need y'all to hit that like button for me. Make sure you hit that like button so we can get some more folks notified. The more likes that are on a video, the harder YouTube will push it. So, please hit that like button. Hit that like button, see some more folks find their way into the liquor store with us, man. Then after you hit that like button, I need you to hit that share button. Put this on a couple different platforms. Matter of fact, we're going to go for title number 6 this year. I need y'all to share the content 6 different times, man. Thomas Gear, what's up with you, man? Thank you for sliding to the building, man. Yeah, I need all y'all to share the content 6 different times, man. You can put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on whatever site you own. Or if you're on Facebook, put it in a couple different Facebook groups, man. So share it, share it expeditiously, share it as much as humanly possible. And then I know it's the 4th. I know it's all about independence. But I need you to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan until they see fireworks in front of their eyes, man. We still are slapping the shit out of Eagles fans over here, man. I don't care if it's the 4th. So go ahead, cock your hand back, slap your Eagles fan so you can get your discount. It's the 4th. You need to kick back with a cold one. You need to get your drink of choice. So you definitely need a discount today, man. So make sure you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man. Yo, what's up with you, Craig? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Happy 4th to you as well, man. Hey, Peasy said bald Eagles equal okay. Philly Eagles equal no. Hey, facts. So, and last but not least, I usually go through this spiel. We are still doing the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. We're trying to send some of y'all to the game to see the Dallas Cowboys destroy the Philadelphia Eagles live and in person. There are 10, there are 3 different prizes. It's $10 a pop. So the grand prize, the main one, is going to be the Dallas Cowboy ticket with a seat attached to it. So you can go to the game, kick back, relax, get you a Cowboy reader, get you, a cup of hen on the rocks, a rum and coke, whatever you want to get, and kick back, relax, and watch that ass whooping live and in person. because the Eagles ain't beat Dallas in Dallas since 2017. So we're gonna win. We're gonna win that game. Then the second place winner is going to receive a ticket to the same game, but it will be for standing room area. So you'll still go, you'll still have a good time. Your feet might be tired, from jumping up and down so often, and running up and down those stairs in excitement, but you will have a good time as well. And then last but not least, the third place winner is going to get a PlayStation 4 or a Dallas Cowboy jersey of their choice. So if any of that interests you, or if you just want to support the content and help your boy out, just hit the Cash App. It's $10 per entry. The Cash App is $Hennythemoor. And then, of course, because we are now monetized on the YouTube channel, you can also send super chats and you can send super stickers as well. Tommy Montoya, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. I appreciate you for the support. Thank you. So yeah, man. So again, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit those Cash App, hit those super chats, man. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the content. So as we do know, based on the current personnel on the Dallas Cowboys roster, Tony Pollard is going to be running back one, so to speak. Now they might do a split back system. They might, like 9 times out of 10, they're going to go to the same approach that they did last year. They're going to split the carries. I don't expect Tony Pollard to carry the ball 300 times. I don't expect him to carry the ball 280 times. So, I think it will be a similar split to what we saw with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So Zeke last year ended up with 237 carries and Tony Pollard ended up with 191. Right. So Zeke had 237 carries and Tony Pollard was not too far behind. He had 191 carries. No, 193 carries. My bad. So Tony had 193. Zeke had 237. So there was not a huge gap, in the frequency in which they got the ball. So, with that in mind, hey, what's up with you, Miss Wanda? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Happy 4th to you as well. I hope y'all are having a great time over there and that y'all enjoying y'all holidays, man. So salute to all y'all for tapping in. And yeah, hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all could be doing 100 different things, with your morning right now, but y'all came in here, and chopped it up with me. So, I appreciate that. That's real love right there. Then my boy Thomas said, I love standing room only. Every time I go to a Cowboys game, I get standing room only. Plus, you can move around. Hey, I like that too. Beatrice Adam, what's up with you, man? Salute to you. Happy 4th of July to you as well, my boy. Thank you for the love and support. So, yeah, man, hey, it's just a great experience being at the game in general, man. Like, it's a great experience being at the game in general. So, standing room or seated, is a good, it's a good little deal. It was a great deal. But, yeah, so I don't expect Tony Pollard to have to carry the ball 280 times, right? This is not the offense in where Tony Pollard is going to get 300 carries, right? Ezekiel, a matter of fact, if you just think about the way that they distribute carries, Ezekiel Elliott did not have a 25 carry game since 2019. So it's not going to be a offensive system where one running back is going to get the ball 30 plus times. That's not what they're planning on doing. I believe they are still going to do running back, quote unquote, by committee. Of course, there will be one guy who will get the ball more often than the other. In this case, it will be Tony Pollard. So Tony Pollard, by default, being the most proven running back on the team, is going to be asked to do a lot more, in terms of carries. Jose Banks, what's up with you, man? Thank you for the love. But at the same time, the difference between 193 and 237 is not, it's not crazy. It's like a 40 carry difference. So 40 carries, they're asking him to carry the ball about 40 more times than he did last year. Now, if you were just to do simple math, right? If you divide 40 by 17, they're going to ask Tony Pollard to carry the ball about 2.3 more times a game, right? So nothing crazy. So Tony Pollard is going to be expected to get 3 more carries a game, right? He was averaging about 14.5 carries. 14.5 touches a game last year. He'll probably get 17.5 touches a game this year. And I think that is fine. Especially if they are able to find, somebody that is an adequate, complementary piece to Tony Pollard in the run game. It could end up being Malik Davis. It could end up being Deuce Vaughn, who people are high on. It could end up being, somebody's not even on the team, right? There's still opportunities to add players. The Dallas Cowboys need, 18. The Dallas Cowboys need to get, to 90 people. They only got 88 right now, so they're going to add at least 2 more people, right? So they could add a running back, before going into training camp. And they could wait till after all the cuts and add a running back at that point. So they got plenty of opportunities, to go out there and get So there's plenty of opportunities for the Dallas Cowboys to go out and get another running back if they're not comfortable, with the current running back room. What's up with you, Jose Banks? I see you, my boy. Thank you for the love. All right. So yeah, there are plenty of time. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for the Dallas Cowboys to add another running back. If they're not comfortable with the running backs behind Tony Pollard. But at the same time, Tony Pollard was a very good back last year. I know, a lot of us will miss Ezekiel Elliott. I know a lot of us have question marks about Tony Pollard's pass pro. But let's just look at the things that he did do good last year. So I actually got the advanced numbers for the running backs of last season. I'm actually going to close the chat so y'all can be able to see the screen a little bit better. And we're just going to look at the running back output from last season. So as we see, carries, right? Attempts. So these are the running backs with the most attempts. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Saquon, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, Jamal Williams, Miles Sanders, Christian McCaffrey, our boy Zeke. Right, because he ended up with 231 carries. That puts him at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he had the 10th most carries in the league last year. And then Tony Pollard was down here. Right. So Tony Pollard had less carries than guys like Austin Eckler, Deontay Foreman, David Montgomery, Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier, Ramon Stevenson, right? Had less carries than Joe Mixon. And he still, turned 193 carries that he had into 1,007 yards, right? So he was very productive, even though he did not get, a huge workload. Tony Pollard did turn the limited amount of touches that he had, into a bunch of big plays. And listen, I understand. Oh, hey, what's up with you, Joshua Fisher? Thank you for sliding in and showing love to the channel, my boy. I appreciate that. Cowboys gonna sweep the Eagles. That's not even a question. That's not even a question. Yeah, he was incredibly productive. Yeah, he was incredibly productive for what they did for him. But when you look here, right, he was all the way down here in terms of carries. Right, he didn't even hit the 200. He didn't even hit the 200 carry mark last year. But in terms of yards per attempt, right, you go to yards per attempt though. He did damn good. He's up there for yards per attempt. 5.2. So he averaged more yards per carry than Travis Etienne, than Nick Chubb, than Ramon Stevenson, Gus Edwards. Like there was a bunch of guys, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders. So, in yards per attempt, in effectiveness, right? What you did with your carries, he was one of the top guys in the NFL. Like, he was one of the top guys in the NFL in terms of that. And if you really just dissect it, right? A lot of the guys that are ahead of him did not get the ball that often. Like Dontrell Hiller only had 22 carries last year. Elijah Mitchell only had 45 carries. Rashad Penny only had 57. Right. So, their numbers, while they're slightly better than Tony Pollard's, they're super skewed. They're super skewed because they barely got the ball. They had a couple of explosive runs when they got the ball, or they might have got one carry, for X amount of yards, and it turned out being, so when you just look at guys who actually had at least 100 carries, like Tony Pollard was one of the most productive running backs in the National Football League, from a per touch attempt, right? From a per touch perspective. I think I did the numbers. I think if you lump together his total touches, and when I say touches, it's like rushing yards and receiving yards. Like, if you lump those together, he was still averaging like 6 yards a touch, receiving and rushing combined. So, Tony Pollard definitely did the damn thing. So let's go a little bit further. This is rushing yards before contact. Rushing yards before contact. You're not really high up here. 504 yards, before contact, right? So decent, but not the greatest numbers in the world. Yards after contact, though, Tony Pollard is well up there. So yards after being contacted, Tony Pollard was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 6th in the NFL in yards after contact, having 503 yards. Right, so that's more than Dalvin Cook. That's more than Aaron Jones. That's more than Christian McCaffrey. That's more than Najee Harris. That's more than Alvin Kamara. Because remember, people tried to arm tackle Tony Pollard a lot, and he still got away from them. Hey, shout out to my brother Neil, for the $9.99 super, man. I appreciate you for the love, my serial slapping homeboy. Salute to you. And Neil, that got you another entry for the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle, man. So let me go ahead and add you up, man, before I continue. So Neil, that entry puts you at 13, right? So lucky number 13. So Neil, you got 13 entries now. And that puts you alone for the third best odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy grand prize. So salute to you, man. Yo, the original people, what's up with you, man? Thank you for the love and support, man. Happy 4th. Hopefully, the establishment that you work at has you off, so you can kick back and enjoy, your off day, with your people. Let's be, because that's the main important thing, being off on the 4th of July. He said, "What's up, Henny? Happy 4th. He slapped up so many Eagles fans that my hand is red writing." Man, you the GOAT for that one, boy. He said he slapped up so many of them, man, that his hand is red, white, and blue, man. Y'all so damn crazy. But yeah, you a GOAT for that one, my boy. So yeah, man. So far, it looks like his production is pretty damn good. Because remember, I know we've seen a lot of breakaway runs, right? But he was still getting through arm tackles. There were still times where he was breaking arm tackles and, still getting through contact and delivering on explosive runs. So, it's not like Tony Pollard went down at first contact. And also, it's not like he's a sub 200-pound running back either. Tony Pollard is like 210 pounds. Like, he is bigger than people give him credit for. Now, he is not as physically dominant as Ezekiel Elliott, but when you compare the size of Tony Pollard to some of these other running backs, he's fine. Right? You compare Tony Pollard to the size of somebody like Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is 209 pounds. Tony Pollard is listed as a bigger weight than he is. All right. You look at another running back, like Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is listed at 212 pounds, so he's around the same size as Miles Sanders, right? So hey, indeed. Hey, like I said, the most important thing is being off. My boy said, celebrate my new house on this holiday. I know that's right, man. Yeah, I know that is right. But yeah, when you look at Tony Pollard's overall size, man, it's not like he's Deuce Vaughn. You know what I mean? It's not like he's Deuce Vaughn. Now, there's not too many running backs that are as physical as Ezekiel Elliott. So, you might not be able to duplicate that. But that's not Tony Pollard's game anyway. Being a good offensive coordinator and running a good offense is tailoring your offensive system, to the strengths of the players that are playing in it. So, I don't really want, Tony Pollard to do the things that Ezekiel Elliott did. My boy said, let me get an Irish coffee in the liquor store. I got you, my boy. I got you. Don't even trip on it. Who else got drink orders in the liquor store, man? He said he got to keep all his fingers from slapping Eagles fans. I know that's right, my boy. So, yeah, a sign of a good offense, a sign of a good offense and an offensive system is tailor-making the system to, strive for your players to strive in it. My boy Pete said he'll take a tall bourbon, bro. Okay, cool. We can do that. Jameson Taylor, what's up, my boy? Thank you for tapping in. Hope everything going well with you, man. I hope your Braves won. And of course, I hope that everything going well with you health-wise, my guy. Joe said he'll take an Italian espresso coffee. Now, let me ask you, I ain't never had no espresso. I drink like the regular coffee. Matter of fact, my grandpappy, rest his soul, was institutionalized. So, like I actually make my coffee with coffee to make it stronger. You know what I'm saying? So, like if I have some old coffee, I will run it through the machine, with the new coffee, and it'll be stronger than the Black Panther once he ate the heart-shaped herb. So My boy Matt Leslie said bourbon on the rocks. Okay. Hey, man. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it, man. I used to look at him the same way, but I definitely do. I definitely still make it like that occasionally. I was gonna make it like that this morning, but I went ahead and chucked the old coffee out, the old coffee out. Desmond Iman said he's tried it. Okay. My boy said I have to get to the gym to see if I can get this swole on. I got to get back in the gym. I just got my membership renewed, so I'm definitely going to be trying to use it. And usually I'm probably going to get out there on the weekend. Yo, happy 4th, Justin. Thank you for sliding in and showing love, my guy. Say, I'm smoking, no drink for me. Hey, real talk. All right, so size-wise, like Tony Pollard matches up. It's not like he is a dwarf, or anything like that. All right, so let's move along to big plays. Right. Well, really, a big rush is described as a 10-yard rush, but as we know, there's levels to it. Right. There's levels to this shit. So any rush, any running play 10 yards or more is considered a big rush. But, for perspective, they do got it broken down in 10-yard runs, 20-yard runs, 30-yard runs, 40-yard runs, and even 50-yard runs. So in terms of 10-yard runs, right, we got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had the most 10-yard runs in the NFL with 47. Josh Jacobs was second with 41. King Derrick Henry had 37 of them. Miles Sanders, was fourth with 34. Saquon Barkley was fifth with 32. And then you got Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones, tied for sixth, most 10-yard runs with 31 each. So Tony Pollard had 31 rushing, he had 31 runs that were 10 yards or more. Right, he had 31 runs that were at least 10 yards. Right, so that's a damn good clip. Very productive. That's great. Pete said he got to leave for work in 30 minutes. He said, I am Los Angeles, Cali, home of the bandwagon Rams fans. Man, California is really a Dallas Cowboys hotspot. There are more Cowboys fans out there than Chargers fans, than, Rams fans. Really the biggest fan bases out there, man, is the Raiders and the Cowboys. He said, yeah, bro, the weed shop is open 364 days a year. Hey, I feel it. I feel it, my guy. Yes, they do. They need the Dallas Cowboys to play there to bring in revenue. Oh, this is all just last year. These carries and production, all this stuff is just from the 2022 season. This is just from the 2022 season. So, Tony Pollard put in some work last year, right? 31 rushes of 10 yards or more. So let's look at the 20-yard rushes. 20-yard rushes. So Tony Pollard is still at the top of that list. Tony Pollard had 9. Yes, he had 9 carries that end up going for 20 yards or more. So Nick Chubb was first. He had 13 of them. Derrick Henry was second. He had 10 of them. Kenneth Walker, the third, had 10 of them as well. Christian McCaffrey had 9. Saquon had 9. And, of course, Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders had 9. So, really, he is tied for the third most. All right, he's tied for third, just like Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker are tied for second. So, Tony Pollard is tied for the third most, 20-yard runs in the NFL last year. So definitely was out there putting in works. He said, do I have any plans for today? Yeah, I'm gonna kick it with the family. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it with the family. Might leave and collect some barbecue plates later, but I'm just gonna really spend some time with my wife and kids and just hang out. Nothing too extravagant. The more of, hey, what's up with you, my brother? Thank you for coming in and showing love to the liquor store, on the 4th of July, man. So salute to you, and thank you for sliding on in here, man. So yeah, so in 20-yard carries, said my party starts in 5 hours. Hey, I feel it. I feel that, my guy. So let's take a look back. So Tied for third most 20-yard runs, right? Well, 30-yard runs. Where does he rank in that regard? Still up there. Still up there. He's tied for second most 30-yard runs. Because there's two gentlemen, Kenneth Walker and Travis Etienne, that are ahead of him in terms of 30-yard runs. They both have 5. But Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon, Tony, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, they all had four runs of 30 yards or more. So, they're all tied for second. Big tie for second. 40-yard runs. 40-yard runs. Tony Pollard is tied for second in that regard. Tony Pollard had 3 carries of 40 yards or more. 3 carries of 40 yards or more. That's only behind Derrick Henry, who had 4, and that's only behind Travis Etienne, who had 4. So Tony Pollard, hey, we talk about explosive runs. That boy going crazy. I said, well, hey, that's good for you. I'm not a Rangers fan. And listen, just to let y'all understand, I do not follow baseball. Like, it might just be me, but I do not follow baseball, kinfolk. So, we all post baseball scores. Like, it's cool. It doesn't, I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't follow anything baseball. I probably need to so I can sports bet on it, but like, I don't follow baseball. No, some of y'all can let me know if I'm missing out or not, but I don't really follow baseball. My dad had been trying for years, to bring me over to that side of sports. I can't get into it. Neil said baseball is as boring as Texans football. Ooh, that's harsh. But hey, I will say this: like, the Texans should be interesting. They should be an interesting matchup. He said, "Are we comparing Trash Pollard to Derrick Henry? We are comparing statistics. We are comparing statistics of all running backs to Tony Pollard. How they did, yardage. How they did in per yards per carry. How they did in situational things. Those are the things we're looking at. So and listen, Tony Pollard is better than every running back on your roster. So if he is trash, your running back room is garbage juice. You're still my guy, though, Eastside. He said it's a holiday. Eric Wallace, what's up with you, man? They was tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you, man. Eastside good, man. Eastside always comes in talking mess, but he does support. So I appreciate him for that. I appreciate Eastside. He's eating. And listen, he is a horrible Texans fan. They don't win at anything over there. As the Houston Texans don't win at anything. But he is still a solid guy. He's still a solid guy. And last but not least, in terms of these big runs, let's look at the 50-yard runs. All right. So again, Tony Pollard tied for second. Kenneth Walker had the most 50-yard runs with 3. Tony Pollard was tied with a bunch of other people with 2 of them. Right. So Tony Pollard went crazy in terms of explosive runs. But let's take a look at receiving, right? Remember, so we just looked at Tony Pollard rushing statistics, but let's take a quick little look, at some of his receiving numbers. So these are the receptions. These are the targets. These are red zone targets. Yards at the contact. So let's see, where can we find Tony? So here's Tony down here. Now, Tony, in terms of receiving, he had 39 receptions. He had 55 targets. So not bad. He also had 8 red zone targets. We also know that Tony Pollard was like 5th on our team in receptions. Hey, shout out to Desmond Ironman. I did not see that you had sent something. So let me go up here and put your stuff up here, man. Hold on, because I was looking at something different. Shout out to Desmond Ironman for the $8. He said, "Happy Independence Day. Go Cowboys. Have a good one to everyone here at the liquor store." Well, Desmond Ironman, I appreciate you. And that also got you a ticket entry because you sent $2, the time before. So that puts you, at having a full ticket entry, man. So let me go ahead and update your stuff. Let me find you and update you. All right. Booyah. So Desmond Ironman. Got you down. So I appreciate you for your support. And if y'all want to improve your odds of going to this game, if you want to improve your odds of winning this PlayStation 4, winning the jersey, whichever one you're shooting for, just hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. Oh yeah, of course, man. I try to incentivize y'all supporting me. I'm not gonna be like certain, content creators from other fan bases that have GoFundMe's and have handouts, say this and that. Like, you support Henny, and Henny gonna support you back. You know what I'm saying? If you support Henny, Henny gonna support you back. So we're gonna be giving out, jerseys every month. We're gonna be giving out, tickets at different points. We will incentivize you supporting the content. We are, like I said, I'm real grateful for everything y'all do for me, man. So I try to give back as often as I can. Miss Regina Green's, hey, and I appreciate that too. She said they tolerate East Side for me, and hey, that takes a lot of strength. You tolerate somebody for somebody else's sake. So I do appreciate that. That's love right there, Miss Green. Salute to y'all. Wonder if Landlord is going to stream. I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty sure he'll give y'all some fire content before the day is over with. Yeah, I think my boy gonna be going live. Hey, thank you, Desmond. I appreciate that, my guy. Salute to you. All right, so let's move along. So, we've been looking at all this stuff. So basically, I went and did this deep dive into his statistics. I said all this just to say that, I've been going through these statistics just for this purpose, right? Tony Pollard theoretically will not have to get a lot more carries than he did last year, in order to still be productive. If you give Tony Pollard the same 230 or 237 carries that you gave Ezekiel Elliott, right, and you pair that with somebody else getting 180 carries, right, or if you find 2 running backs, you can split the 180 carries, 190 carries that Tony Pollard gave you. You should be able to make it. You should be able to have a productive running attack with Tony Pollard and a complementary of running backs. Because what we're asking Tony Pollard to do is not that far removed from his wheelhouse. That is something that is not too far removed from what Tony Pollard has already shown to be capable of. Right? We're not going to ask Tony Pollard. Yes, I am going to SportsCon. I will be going to SportsCon. I will be there with West Coast Cowboy, and I will be there with Landlord from Alabama. So we know we'll be rocking out. And listen, I'm only going to SportsCon for a day, so I will be there Saturday. I'll be there at SportsCon Saturday when it starts. I'm gonna drive up. I'm gonna spend the whole day with my guys. Try to get some interviews, give y'all some quality content, and then I'm gonna hit that road and get on back to Texarkana. Because it's only like a 2 hour and some change drive, so I don't have to fly out. I can just go out there, give y'all some content and show love. And hey, shout out to Miss Baker for sliding in and showing love to the channel. Salute to you. But yes, I will be at SportsCon. I probably need to promote that shit a little bit more too. But yeah, I am going to SportsCon. I'm gonna be there with the big cuzzo West. I'm gonna be there with my brother Landlord. We're gonna have a good time, man. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna bring out some exclusive content. And we're gonna be up, man. It's gonna definitely be up. All right, so let's take a real quick look at the per game numbers for our running back. So these are rushing attempts. So Derrick Henry averaged 22 rushing attempts a game. Josh Jacobs averaged 20 rushing attempts a game. Nick Chubb averaged 18. Saquon averaged 18. Ezekiel Elliott averaged 15. Right, let's just go down. Where's Tony on here? Let's see. I think Tony only averaged like 12. Yeah, he only averaged 12 rushing attempts a game. So Tony Pollard only averaged 12 rushing attempts last year. So per game, he only averaged 12 rushing attempts. However, Tony Pollard did average 2 explosive runs a game. So despite the fact that he only averaged 12 rushing attempts last year, he still averaged 2 explosive runs a game, which is crazy. And you look at that, you go up here to 2. So Tony Pollard is tied. So Tony Pollard averaged the second most explosive runs a game. Nick Chubb averaged 3. Tony Pollard averaged 2. And we know that Nick Chubb averaged 6 more rushing attempts than Tony Pollard did. Right? So, and for people that don't know what SportsCon is, SportsCon, is just like a big sports conference. That's why it's called that. There's going to be like 100 different NFL players out there. It'll be a bunch of different, athletes. Gonna be some NBA players, be some NFL players. Gonna be a bunch of Dallas Cowboys players out there interacting with fans. So we're gonna actually go out there and cover it as part of the media. We should have some passes and things like that. So we're gonna go out there, mingle with a couple of players, try to get y'all some interviews and exclusive content. Get their thoughts about the upcoming season and their training regimen and different things like that. It'll be fun. We're gonna cover SportsCon in depth. So it should be fun. So that's crazy though when you put that into perspective. Like, and one thing I do notice though, like one thing I am thinking of, there were only 2 running backs last year that averaged 20 carries a game. Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs. There were only 2 running backs that averaged 20 carries a game. So that is actually insane when you actually think about it. That is insane when you think about it. That just tells you, hey, that just tells you a little bit of how the NFL is moving, man. They have moved, you know, they really have moved away from featuring a running back like that. But it's still cool. It's still cool to have a great running back, especially in our offense. We're gonna need one. We're honestly gonna probably need about two. So we're gonna need Malik Davis or somebody to step up for us in order to get to where we want to get to. He said, okay, so in essence, TB is comparable to running backs no one wants. Well, he's comparable to running backs, you know, TP is comparable to running backs that everybody wants, actually. Because when you look at his output, you know, you look at his output, he's getting the same amount of explosive plays as guys like Nick Chubb and them, right? He's getting more yards per carry than, guys like Saquon and them, right? Who people are thinking of as all pros. Really, Tony Pollard is doing, what Tony Pollard is doing on limited carries, is really crazy. Like his touches are comparable to, no name guys, but his production is comparable to all pro running backs, which is the crazy thing about it. See, I want TP to run over 49ers this season. I think it's coming. Them getting weaker with losing D'Amico Ryans and our offensive, capabilities being enhanced by having better play calling with Mike McCarthy. I definitely do think we have a better chance of defeating the 49ers this year, regular season and postseason. Regular season and postseason, I think we have a great opportunity of beating them. Pizza said, "I think Malik can do some things. I think he's an adequate. I think he's an adequate running back, man. I just got to see him get some more opportunities. And then the advantage that he has already played in a zone style blocking scheme. When he was at Florida, they were running a zone style blocking scheme. So I think he already has the adequate reps to go out there and do it. He has experience in this system. So it's not foreign to him. I think he's comfortable in that scheme. Really, that scheme got him drafted. That scheme got him into the NFL because his production from that scheme, is what people remember. Stephen White, what's good with you, man? Thank you for coming in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Salute to you. I appreciate that love, my guy. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. See Steve, right? DOP. Okay, so let's move along. So we talked about Tony. What do y'all think, though? I mean, I want to get y'all advice. I want to get y'all opinion, I should say. going off with the production I was able to show y'all from Tony Pollard, both per game stuff, both, season averages and different things like that. How comfortable are you with Tony Pollard? And we're operating from right now. We're operating from the thought, that he'll be completely healthy, to start the season. Miss Regina Green said she's not very comfortable yet, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all new territory for the Dallas Cowboys. We've had a running back that we knew we could trust for the last 7 years. So this is new territory. So I understand. Henny, what do you think, man, for a red zone goal line situation? How you going about that if you're head coach or OC? Well, one thing that I think the Dallas Cowboys will bring back in the red zone is Dak Prescott as a running threat. That was something that he strived in, to start his career. A lot of times, and listen, it's not like you're putting Dak Prescott in harm's way, because a lot of times when he, ran in the red zone, he was untouched. He used to keep the ball, when the ends crashed in too hard on the run and just walk into the end zone. They used to call quarterback draws for him. They used to just walk right up the middle of the defense. So I think red zone wise, they'll implement Dak Prescott legs a little bit more. I still think that they will utilize, these running backs in the red zone at times, especially within the 10. And then also, I just think that they're going to throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb, for jump ball opportunities in the red zone a little bit more often. Right? When you got 88, you like to give them targets in the red zone. So if that Dallas Cowboys are not comfortable with the running backs, in the red zone, you can utilize Dak Prescott in the red zone a little bit more, right? They have not outlawed the tush push that the Eagles popularized, so you can give Dak Prescott a couple of cheap rushing touchdowns like the Eagles did for for Jalen Hurts, because a lot of those, Jalen Hurts got six rushing touchdowns on quarterback sneaks last year. He got 6 rushing touchdowns on quarterback sneaks last year. Right? So because it's not illegal to push your quarterback into the end zone, still, you just get your biggest offensive lineman. Dak Prescott is 6'2", 240 pounds. Just help him, push push him into the end zone if you're at the 1 yard line, whatever. Right? If you were a little bit further back, you can utilize the RPO. You utilize the like the quarterback keeper on these read options. You could throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb in the red zone. You have other ways around it if you're not comfortable with your red zone running back. And then just keep it funky. Give the guy that you think is your best red zone runners opportunities. You don't know they can do the job until you let them do the job, right? So let's say you go through preseason, you go through training camp, and you say that Hunter Lukey is your guy. Give Hunter Lukey the opportunity to try to run in the red zone. Either he's going to succeed or he's going to fail. Right? But you first and foremost, you got to figure out who you trust in the red zone. If it comes down to it, and you're not comfortable with giving anybody the ball in the red zone at the running back room, utilize your quarterback, utilize those wide receivers in the red zone. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Dak Prescott was like 11 touchdowns to 1 interception in the red zone last year. You're talking about red zone passing. Dak Prescott was one of the best red zone passing quarterbacks in the league last year. He had 11 passing touchdowns and 1 interception in the red zone. 20 yards back. Right, 20 yards back. 20 yards out. And those numbers got better the closer he got to the red zone. So, Dak Prescott is not going to cause you too many issues in the red zone, or you allow him to pass the ball. He can extend plays. He can escape the pocket. He can run it in himself. You got a good red zone quarterback. Now, would it be easier to have a running back that you can just hand the ball to and get the yards in the red zone? Of course. But if you ain't got that, But if you ain't got that, that's when you know, think outside the box and find ways to mitigate it. He said we need that 2-yard pushability from the O-line, period. Hey, I think the O-line is going to be better this year. And really, when we talk about the offensive line being better, like when we talk about the offensive line being better, is really just one aspect. Because they were a top run blocking unit when Terrence Steele was there anyway. They were a top run blocking unit when Terrence Steele was there. What they weren't, however, was a good pass blocking unit. They were not a good pass blocking unit. So I feel it, but I think they'll do fine run blocking, especially in this zone block scheme, because you're not just going to be running your running back into the teeth of the defense anyway. Because when you run zone, the running backs have more than one option. They can take the play side, or they can take the cutback. Sometimes the running back will have 3 or 4 options. There might be 3 options where the running back can take it play side, and then of course there'll be a cutback for them. So there are different, it's a different running scheme. So it's a completely different running scheme. So I can't just sit here and say it's not going to work because I haven't seen these guys in it. But I will say I'm disappointed that Ezekiel Elliott will not get a chance to run in the zone run scheme. I will say that I'm still disappointed he will not get a chance to run in this zone run scheme. So questions, we can move. So what y'all want to do now? We talked about Tony Pollard, his offensive output last year, so we can do one or two different things, man. We can do one or two different things because I'm really just waiting time. I'm finna order this pizza and pick up this food, but I'm trying to wait a little bit closer till my wife gets off, so it'll be fresh still. So we can do one or two different things. We can do Q&A the rest of the show, or we can do some more study ball, right? Because I can break down a couple more. I can break down a couple more concepts for you that you might see, or we can just do Q&A. You can ask me questions, I can answer it, or we can do some more study ball. It's really y'all choice. So what do y'all want? Or we can do both. I ain't tripping. So talk to me. What y'all trying to do? Hey, I love pizza too, Joe. I can eat pizza every other day. Matter of fact, that's really the only food I would eat when I was young. I was a very picky eater, but I eat every damn thing now. But like when I was a child, the only thing that I wanted to eat was pizza. He said, you're old when you try it and check your blood pressure and try to beat your low score every day, man. All right. Matt Leslie said he want to study some runs. Okay. What's up with you, man? All right, so let me get some of this stuff uploaded real quick. So let me get some of these plays uploaded, and in the meantime, let me play y'all some videos while I do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dallas is tough too. Dak always kills us, so he's healthy for week. Dak always kills us. So
yeah, that fucker, he always does it too. Yeah.
Week 9 against Dallas, 4:25 p.m. We got, if we have Hurts and they have Dak, it would only be their second time playing against each other. In the first game, Hurts got beat pretty bad. 2021, we lost pretty bad against them when Dak and Hurts both played. And then last year, obviously, we had the backup, so didn't happen. That's going to be a tough. I mean, that's like getting a big, like, it's getting a big time like weight off our shoulders. Like if we could just beat that team with Dak, like I just feel so good about that. Because to be honest, we haven't done it in forever. Since 2019, they haven't beat the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. Like, and we all talk about how he's mediocre and all this, but plays well against us. So we got to go out there and I think we got to go out there and win. He's healthy for week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love playing that video when I'm trying to do stuff, man. You know, like, hey, this is like a little waiting screen video, man. It's like a little waiting screen video. I like playing that shit. Yeah, man, they horrified of Dak Prescott. They be talking about that man like he Freddy Krueger. Like he be out there killing their little dreams, man, hurting their little heart. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's tragic, man. It's tragic for them. But yeah, I'm still getting this stuff loaded in. So give me 2 seconds and bear with me. So, you know, we talked about some of these runs already, but I still want to go over them with y'all again because you will see them. This will be on the final exam, so to speak. And I also threw in another passing concept as well. So, you know, I'm uploading a passing concept that we're going to talk about. I uploaded 2 run scheme concepts that I wanted to talk about. And we already talked about the run schemes, though. We already talked about it. So this is going to basically be a glorified refresher for them. And then the passing concept that I'm going to bring up, we have not spoken about. So this will be your first time seeing it. So, you know, remember, if I ask you what this passing concept is, do not say flood. Do not say smash. Do not say no, any of that. Because it is not going to be, you know, the concept that you think it is. He said, I'm going to fail again. Yeah, y'all got to have some more faith, man. Y'all got to have some more faith, man. And besides, man, like I feel like a lot of y'all know these concepts. I feel like a lot of y'all know these concepts because really, when we say a passing concept, I just what I want you to get. That's what I want you to understand. Like when we say a passing concept, it is just a nickname for multiple routes that are ran together. So instead of saying double slants, we say lion, right? Instead of saying double slants, we'll say lion. Instead of saying a slant and a flat route, we'll say dragon, right? It's not really too crazy. You know what I mean? Like it can be crazy, but you know, it's not too crazy. Because just like this, like this is a dragon concept. The only thing that makes it a dragon concept is that you got somebody going into the flats, and then you got somebody running a slant route on the same side of the field, right? Because the concepts work on the same side of the field. He said, "No school, y'all out here tripping." I said, "Just think of it as extra credit, man. Just think of it as extra credit, because I promise you, man, it's not." It's not the craziest thing in the world. I'm almost done. Bear with your boy, man. I'm trying to get this stuff in here for us. Might be quicker if I do it through. Does Schottenheimer use a fullback heavily? Schottenheimer does use a fullback at times. So, that is one of the reasons why people are hyping up Lupke. They know for a fact, for a fact, that he'll probably make the team. They want to carry a fullback. So, yes, he does utilize his fullbacks, a lot. And shout out to my brother, the Lunatic, for sliding in here, man. Thank you for coming in and supporting the channel, man. So if anybody are just now coming in, we spent the first hour or so looking at Tony Pollard's production from last year, speaking about, his expected workload, how well he fared last year, and his overall production. And now that that's out of the way, we have decided to do a little bit more study ball, and talk about some things. I mean, I hope he's good too. I think if he's, I think if he is just a fullback, if he is just a fullback that will give you some occasional short yardage runs, he'll be just fine. What I do not want him to be is somebody we're gonna try to get the ball to 130 times, 140 times. It's like once you get into that realm of running the ball, you are not a damn fullback. You were a running back at that point. All right, so this is all right. Save image outside zone. Okay, so I'll start with the running plays as I got those loaded in already. I'll start with the running plays, and then after that, then we can talk about this other passing concept. And since this is pretty much a refresher for y'all, about the zone run scheme, it's gonna be all good because y'all seen this before. Me and Tuck touched on it. I touched on it by myself, so it should be fine. So we're gonna take a look at the inside zone. This is going to be the inside zone. And remember, when you are doing zone concepts, the linemen are going to go to a certain area of the field. And when they go to that area of the field, if somebody is there, they block them. This is different than gap style. Everybody's just going to block the person in front of them. But zone, they're going to flow in one direction, and block up a particular zone, aka area of the field. So again, we talked about the inside zone being a staple. It is actually. The 49ers do incorporate a zone running system. That's why they look so good running the ball. Because they got explosive and wiggly running backs that get options. That's one of the reasons why, Deebo Samuel is able to play so much running back for them, because he's not running into the teeth of the defense most of the time. He's able to pick his spots and run. So, the zone style run scheme is predicated on giving your running backs at least two options to take the ball. You can take the ball play side, right, where the linemen are taking or blocking, or you can get to the cutback lane. That's why the running back is circled and they got two arrows. So if the linemen, right, if the defensive linemen and linebackers, flow too far play side, then they're going to vacate the area of the field for him to get the cutback line, to get to the cutback lane. And he should get an explosive run. If they stay put, and they just try and fill a certain hole, then you can take the ball play side, and there should be an option for you to get positive yardage. So it's going to be predicated. Really, it's going to be predicated on how the linebackers respond. and it gives you an option to counteract whatever the linebackers do. Because realistically, the linebackers are going to be wrong no matter what they do, right? If you hit the hole and you got the vision for this. And that's why one of the most important things in running a zone style offense, a zone style run scheme, is having vision. Because remember, the cutback can be there all day, right? The cutback can be there all day. But, if you don't see the cutback lane and you can't get back to the cutback lane, then, it's a moot point. So, that's why the most important thing in terms of zone run game, is vision. I always call they run game exotic while we just run up the middle or right or left. I always hated our run game. Like our backs had to work extra hard all the time. They did, because a lot of the times our running backs were running, directly, into the teeth of the defense. They were running into the teeth of the defense. At least in a zone style run, if it's blocked correctly, you are going to have options. And on this play, there's only two options. There will be, some situations where there are three possible outcomes for where the running back can take the ball. But inside zone, is a staple in the zone style run. And what people like to do with this is, because it is blocked up the exact same way as an RPO, they will set up the RPO throws behind this by first implementing the inside run. So they'll set up the inside zone run. They'll run that a couple times, and then back off of that, they'll throw the RPO right behind it. So you'll fake it to the running back, pull it, and you'll throw to a wide receiver behind these linebackers that are coming up. Right, so you would like to marry an inside zone with the RPO pass, with the run pass option, because they're blocked up the same way. They really look the exact same way, all up to the point to where the quarterback pulls the ball from the running back. So that's one of the staples in a zone style run scheme, is the inside zone. And remember, vision is key. You can take it play side, you can take it to the cutback side. If you have vision, the linebackers cannot stop this. Really stopping the inside zone is going to be predicated on your defensive line winning up front. Because if they cannot get on their blocks, it's going to force the running back, a certain direction or a certain way. Will give your linebackers time, to fill the hole. So really, inside runs and in zone blocking schemes are more predicated on the defensive line winning up front in order to be stopped. Because the linebackers, no matter what they do, there's a counter to them. You can counteract whatever the linebackers do, as long as you can see the cutback lane. So in order to stop, right, because you're thinking about running this, you also need to know how teams stop it. Yeah, man, you continue to run Ezekiel Elliott or any running back for that point into the teeth of a defense. Of course they're going to wear down. A lot of unnecessary, contact happening in the backfield. And DC for Life Texas, what's up with you, my brother? Thank you for tapping in. He said, "What's up, Cowboys Nation? DC for Life. Let's freaking go. Cowboys number 6. Let's get it, my guy. Let's get it." So yeah, so that is the inside zone run. I'm gonna throw a curveball at y'all boys, though, man. I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. We're gonna talk about a passing concept real quick. Technically, this is more of a spread concept, but it still can be utilized in a West Coast system. Like, we're being technical, like this is considered out of a spread, but the lines between that blur. You'll probably still see this concept utilized at some point. And remember, you're not going to know the answer to this unless you just play Madden or you just know football. And let me shut this down so y'all can see. So this route combination, it's a post route and a dagger route on the same side of on the same side of the field. What do you think this concept is called? What do you think this concept is called, my good people? Yes, you can run that play in shotgun formation. You can run that play in pistols. You can run inside zone, really, from whatever package you want to run it from. Y'all got any guesses of what this concept is called? Because really, when you're learning a concept, you're just learning route combinations. Because again, when you learn lion, it's double slant. When you learn dragon, it's going to be a flat and a slant. When you learn stick, your innermost receivers on the stick route is going to be, and this is a 3-man concept. So your closer receivers on the stick route, you got somebody going in a flat route, you got somebody going on a vertical route. So when you learn concept names, you're just learning route combinations. Sometimes it's a 2-man route combination, sometimes a 3-man route combination. But what do you think this route combination is called? Because you got a post and you got a dagger. Put it in the chat box if you want to take a guess. And listen, one of y'all might know. Any guesses? Well, yeah, it's a post dagger. It's a post and a dagger, but this is considered meals, like meat meals. This is considered meals, and this really is a very good concept because you can run this against. You can run this concept against a litany of different coverages. So right now it's being ran against cover 3, but the point of this is to create a big play high and low, because this dagger route is going to be ran about 15 to 18 yards. You're going to run this dagger route about 15 to 18 yards, and then you're going to have a deep post, going right behind it. So you're going to put the safety, if it's single man, if it's a single high safety look, yes, it's called meals. So if you have a single high safety look, the read is if they go and they take the post route away, you're going to throw the little dagger route. Well, it's not little because it's about 18 yards, still a big chunk play. If they come down and have to account for that dagger, you're going to throw the ball up top for a huge play to the post route. And then a lot of times what teams will do is they will run a shallow crosser, a very shallow crosser to be your check down. Sometimes you'll run a shallow crosser backside. Sometimes, and they'll come across the field into the vision of the quarterback. Sometimes they'll run a slant backside to get into the vision of the quarterback as a other option if the high low somehow gets taken away. It said, who do you think running the post on that route, CD or Cooks? It really depends. You really could do them. You really could do both. It could be CD, coming off on that post route, because CD is a great route runner. One of the things that one of the things that you can do, because post route is not all the times about speed. CD Lambs can sail the vertical route very well and still get to the post because he's a good route runner. He's a very underrated route runner. So CD could come wide open, on that post with his route running. And then Brandon Cooks is he also a good route runner, but he has so much vertical speed. He'll be able to, even if he doesn't sail the route that well, he can still run by guys. And because this is, and listen, you like running this against cover 3 and cover 2, because if this is like cover 1 robber, you got people in place to try and take some of this stuff away, right? So you would prefer to run this against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. This is a good zone beater, because in cover 4, right, you're still putting eye candy up there, for the safeties over there. If this is cover 2, the middle of the field is open any damn way. Hey, I appreciate that, the original people. Because you would prefer to run this against cover 3 because these people are zoned up. Because even though there's somebody in front of the guy running the post route, his job is not to carry him across the field. That's not his job. His job is the deep third of that field. He's not gonna chase him across the field once he breaks to that post. Right. Once the post, leaves his area of the field, it's really up to the middle third safety to take away the post. But if the middle third safety is occupied, with this dagger route, he comes up to try to take away that dagger route. There's nobody behind him doing his job. Then remember, if this was cover 2, there would not be a deep middle safety there any damn way. So really what's going to happen in cover 2 is the dagger route is going to hold the attention of the linebackers or corners that's zoned up in the middle of the field, and it's going to leave nobody there to really account and carry, the guy that's going to come up behind them. Well, we doing our morning show, Wes? What's good with you, Wes? Let me know something. Yeah, West Coast came in. We were talking about some West Coast principles, man. That's perfect. So yeah, that's Mills. You can use this against middle field open and middle field closed, but you preferably want to run this against the zone. Hey, Peasy said he about to head to the JOB. I appreciate you, man, for taking time out your morning to chop it up with your boy, man. And really, I am finna get ready. If Wes finna send a link, I'm gonna, recalibrate and jump on the show with my brother for a little bit before I go pick up this food. So y'all just tap in, y'all spin the block. I'm pretty sure, we'll be doing the show very shortly. So y'all just spin the block and make sure y'all come and lay eyes on us in a little bit, man. So I appreciate y'all for the love and the support. And I will get at y'all, man. Peace, blessings, and slap the shit out the Eagles fans, man. Happy